Hey everyone and welcome. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today. In this explainer, we're going to take an incredible journey back in time to look at something truly fascinating. We'll be exploring how ancient discoveries from over a millennium ago are actively shaping our everyday modern lives. We're looking at the brilliant Muslim scientists who changed the world.
So let me start by asking you a question. When you think about where modern science began, what actually comes to mind? A lot of us picture, dusty laboratories in the 19th or 20th century. But did you know that a huge number of the inventions and scientific discoveries we rely on today were actually pioneered by Muslim scholars over 1,000 years ago? It's true. From algebra and hospitals to optics, medicine, and astronomy, these brilliant minds literally helped lay the foundations of the modern world we're living in right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're talking about the Islamic Golden Age. This was just an incredible era where knowledge absolutely flourished. Imagine bustling, vibrant cities like Baghdad, Damascus, and Cordoba acting as the ultimate hubs of learning. And the work being done in these cities didn't just stay local. It spread like wildfire, inspiring generations of scientists across Europe and far beyond. Today, we're going to explore the lives and achievements of 10 remarkable pioneers from this era whose work changed history forever.
Here's the roadmap for today's explainer. First up, math, chemistry, and optics. Second, the pioneers of modern medicine. Third, we'll explore Earth, sky, and stars. And finally, we'll wrap up with their legacy of innovation.
All right, let's get into Section 1, Math, Chemistry, and Optics, the foundational sciences.
Now, what's kind of wild is looking at the origins of words we use every single day. Take the word algorithm. It is directly derived from the name of Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. He was a brilliant mathematician living in Baghdad back in the 9th century. He wrote this truly groundbreaking book that introduced systematic methods for solving equations. And guess what? The word algebra comes directly from the Arabic term al-jabra, which was used right there in his book. Just think about that for a second. Without al-Khwarizmi, modern mathematics and computer science as we know them would look entirely different. Every single time you use a computer or a smartphone, you're relying on his ancient genius.
Moving smoothly from math to the physical sciences, we have Jabir ibn Hayyan, or as he was often known in Europe, Geber. Before him, the study of materials was basically just alchemy. But Jabir? He completely transformed alchemy into true experimental chemistry. He massively improved crucial laboratory techniques that are literally still the bedrock of modern labs today, like distillation and crystallization. Plus, he systematically described numerous chemical substances. His foundational techniques were so incredibly effective that they influenced the entire field of chemistry for centuries.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next massive leap forward, this time in the field of optics. For the longest time, the going belief was that we could see because our eyes actually emitted light, kind of like flashlights. Crazy, right? But then Ibn al-Haytham comes along. He completely revolutionized the study of light and vision by proving the exact opposite, that we see because light enters our eyes. His meticulous experiments didn't just correct a misunderstanding, they laid the essential groundwork for cameras, glasses, microscopes, and modern physics. In fact, his rigorous approach is exactly why many historians consider Ibn al-Haytham to be one of the original pioneers of the scientific method itself.
Let's shift our focus to the human body in Section 2, Pioneers of Modern Medicine.
You really can't talk about the history of healing without bringing up Ibn Sina, historically known in the West as Avicenna. He was, without a doubt, one of history's greatest doctors and philosophers, and the author of a massive work called The Canon of Medicine. The thing you have to realize is just how far ahead of his time he was. Long before modern hospitals were even a concept, Ibn Sina was accurately describing contagious diseases, detailing medical treatments, and even outlining the concept of clinical trials. His work was so comprehensive that it became the absolute standard medical textbook in both Europe and the Middle East for centuries.
200. That is the staggering number of specialized surgical instruments designed by al-Zahrawi. He was an absolutely extraordinary surgeon operating out of Muslim Spain. He didn't just perform surgery, he engineered the tools to do it better. Many of the tools he invented directly inspired the instruments that doctors still use in operating rooms to this day. On top of that, his comprehensive medical encyclopedia became one of Europe's most important, highly referenced surgical texts for hundreds of years.
Okay, time to scale things up from the human body to the cosmos. Section 3, Earth, Sky, and Stars. Let's quickly walk through this incredible roster of talent. First up, we have Biruni. This guy was a master of astronomy, geography, math, and geology. Using brilliant scientific calculations, he managed to estimate the Earth's radius with remarkable accuracy,
all while extensively documenting different cultures. Next, look at Idrisi in cartography. Back in the 12th century, he created one of the most accurate maps of the world, giving travelers, merchants, and explorers an invaluable tool to finally understand the layout of the known world. And finally, Nasr al-Din el-Tusi. Operating out of his own magnificent observatory, he developed highly advanced astronomical models that would later deeply influence European scientists.
And, while some of these guys were busy looking at the stars, others were trying to actually reach them. Enter Abbas ibn Firnas, the very first true aviation pioneer. Just picture this. Centuries before the Wright brothers were even born, Ibn Firnas looked up at the sky and decided to attempt the impossible. He designed a wing device, strapped it on, and actually attempted controlled flight. Now sure, his landing was ultimately unsuccessful, but his sheer bravery and mechanical experimentation served as a massive inspiration for future studies of aviation.
Okay, here's another unbelievable number for you. 120,000. That is the number of kilometers traveled by our next pioneer, Ibn Battuta. This great traveler journeyed across Africa, Asia, and Europe. And he didn't just walk and ride, he documented everything. His highly detailed travel accounts are still used today, giving historians this incredible, invaluable window into the realities of medieval civilizations across 3 different continents.
Which brings us to our final synthesis. Section 4. A legacy of innovation.
Looking back at all of these achievements, we are really looking at a world completely transformed. The sheer curiosity, education, and innovation from these 10 brilliant Muslim scientists prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that these are the actual forces that move humanity forward. Their groundbreaking discoveries didn't just fade away into history textbooks. As we've seen today, they actively continue to influence mathematics, medicine, chemistry, astronomy, engineering, and technology right down to this very second.
I want to leave you with this final, awe-inspiring thought today. If the passionate ideas, experiments, and sheer bravery from over 1,000 years ago built the modern world we get to enjoy right now, whose curiosity today will build our tomorrow? It's pretty incredible to think about, right? Well, if you enjoyed learning about these remarkable pioneers in today's Explainer, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with friends who love history and science just as much as we do. Thank you so much for watching, and keep exploring.